For today's cup of coffee, I usually like to do something a little more lighthearted on the Sabbath, but yeah, I think when we see a world that is going totally against the natural order of things, that's very much worthy of being talked about on the Sabbath. And, you know, this thing about the chimeras has come up, and I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. But I got to wondering, it's like, is there more? And yes, there is. Because plants, not even plants are safe, folks. And I haven't gone through all these. I will provide you a list of citations and references and stuff in the description box. But the reason this concerned me so greatly is we know that people have been tampering with everything because we are in mad scientist world at this point. And what was interesting with this as far as genetics, DNA, plants and humans, there's some of the articles. I haven't read the one that is this handy guide to ancestry and relationship DNAs. I don't know what that it says. If you put all of a human's DNA into a plant cell, it wouldn't work. But if you put parts of it in, how do we know what we're eating? What is in our food? Seriously. And this has been going on much longer because people have a tendency to just not even dream of these things taking place. This article here is from 2016. And they're doing this as far as, they say that they're doing it to develop new medicines and different things like that. If they weren't, would they tell us? And so we have no idea what we're eating, seriously. And that's concerning to me. I don't know if it is to you. This is what I was interested in. Let me go back to this. All the different things that can be mixed. And it's just an incredible list. At one point, I mean, to ask, should it even be asked if a human can impregnate a pig? Now, that's the level of depravity that we are at this point. There was just a multitude of things, and that may be the reason that I had looked that up. They had, let's see if I do this. It was this huge list of things that they have done. And it was, I can't get it to work for. I can't get it to work right now. But they were talking about wolves and pigs and just everything imaginable. You know, that's some Tower of Babel stuff right there. And like I said, this has been going on a lot longer than we had dreamed of. This scholarly article is from 2018, Safety Considerations when Working with Humanized Animals. And in one of the articles I came across, they were talking about 1966 when this stuff started. So, I mean, we knew that it wasn't new, and just because that it was illegal, there are laws for the common folk, and then there are laws, well, are there laws for the other than the common folk? That's something that needs to be questioned right now. But yeah, I think somebody needed to read that article a couple of years ago. Time to Rethink the Law on Part Human Chimeras. That's from 2019. And to sit there and go, oh, no, there's nothing wrong with this. But there is. This was kind of horrifying. This is a company that sells humanized mice. This right here, I mean, just a quick search. This is another company that sells humanized mice. Now, I'm one of these, I do understand that there are things that need to be done, but I'm not for the torture and suffering of any animal. I don't care if it's a mouse. I don't care what it is. It's like to, design and birth these creatures just to torture them. That's wrong. That is, in my world, that is morally and ethically wrong. I mean, even the animals that are given to us as food, we're not supposed to have those animals suffer during the slaughtering process. So this is just, like I said, Dr. Frankenstein would love the world today. This was also equally disturbing. Now, this was a matter of self-disclosure even in 2020 because they were already doing it. And so let's test the waters after all the movies and the propaganda and all the TV shows and everything like that, that it's like, oh wow, it's really cool to be a chimera. And study shows that American support for human animal chimera research, that was very much, says the results of the survey found that 82% of the 430 Americans surveyed are supportive of at least some parts of the research. Yeah, no. And so this is just wrong on so many levels. This was from 2019. Because there are other nations that do not have laws anywhere similar to the United States, which it seems at this point there's a push to make our laws more like other people's laws, because our laws were based on Abrahamic religion beliefs. Yeah. And this one is from April 15th, 2021. And now it's bad enough as far as the mice, but now that they're getting a little more brazen, so nothing's off limits. Nothing. And so we are indeed in perilous times, folks, and we need to be in continual prayer. At what point do they start reversing the process and start injecting animal DNA into, the developing fetuses of humans? And when this chimera thing came out several weeks back about where they had relaxed a lot of the regulation and law on it, and Alex Jones said, actually, a couple of days after, because I had seen I don't know, some kind of trailer for something on Netflix, which I don't. I just, no. And it was about these chimeras and how wonderful this would be to be a hybrid creature. That's another programming thing to get people to accept abominations. And that's all you can say. This is another one of those where the devil was going, I will be like the Most High. And it's like, dude, not in your wildest dreams. So, this is very concerning to me. I will tell you, Leo King has said that, well, he didn't just say, we have summer solstice coming up on the 21st. And he was talking about the planetary alignment and that we've got some really hardcore days ahead. And he said especially around the 22nd. He doesn't know exactly what's going to happen, but it's going to be with us for a minute. And I will tell you, he has been, he's been spot on. I've been listening to this man since 2013. And it's very much worth the monies that you would pay to hear him. You have to listen in between the words with him. And being a Leo, it doesn't bother me. But this is how I hear him. I will hear him and then I get an interpretation of what he has said. And a lot of times I will share that with you all. But I also very much give him credit because no, I'm not a thief in any way, even if somebody else is knowledge or their expertise or something. That ain't cool either. But I will put a link to his subscription site, which is called High Vibe. And there's other people on there that you might be interested in hearing. But he has just been spot on. That's all I can say. He's a little bombastic for some people. He's a little ADHD, but I'm a whole lot ADHD most days, so it doesn't bother me. Other people that it's like, he's too out there. How much out there can... do you see the headline on this thing? How much out there can anybody get? Yeah. So, like I said, lots and lots of prayer. Let's pray for one another, for people, that God will open their eyes, open their hearts, open their minds. Because time's short, folks. And I think that focusing on that on the Sabbath day is pretty appropriate. If you've had any experiences with the paranormal or supernatural, encounters with UFOs or aliens, if you've had any experience with cryptoids, cryptozoology, Bigfoot, the skinwalkers, the no deer, I think that's what, youngest kid was talking about. I don't, he goes on some of these things. I'm old school on this, and some of these I'm like, are new ones emerging? And that very well could be. I've always thought that the chupacabra was some kind of a hybrid creature that, escaped from a lab in Puerto Rico back years ago. Nobody's ever proven me wrong on that. But if you've had experiences with alternate realities, with or without substances, if you'd like to discuss today's altering of reality, or anything else, just send me an email at cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And you all have a beautiful, blessed day.